Hi, my dear students. How are you? Welcome to the session. I hope your prep is going fine. So, in this video, we are going to talk about the general questions which are seen in GMAT's reading comprehensions. Now, see, any exam you talk about, reading comprehension has more or less become an integral part, and especially after the removal of sentence correction, there is a lot of emphasis on reading comprehension in GMAT. So we need to ensure that our approach while we are solving reading comprehension passages remains to be absolutely perfect, so that we are not caught in the traps led by the examiner, right? So अब हम करने क्या वाले हैं? In this video we are going to talk about what sort of general questions are tested, right? So when we talk about general questions, primarily they are just handful of questions that you can see in reading comprehension passages. And what are those questions? Those questions are of primary purpose, right? So primary purpose is why the author has written the entire passage, right? You will definitely get a primary purpose question. Then there is a main idea question, tone and style, and at times some questions of inference also are general questions. That means you have to draw an inference from the overall understanding of the passage rather than from some extract of the passage that is provided to you. तो हम discuss करते हैं कि what exactly is tested in these four question types and how are you going to solve these questions. Then we are going to solve one passage from the official guide so that you get a good flavor of the right questions that you are going to get in the actual exam. So let's get started. My name is Juhi Narula. So when we talk about main idea and primary purpose questions, see, understand this very clearly that it is almost certain that you will encounter these questions. और ये questions आप तब तक अच्छे से solve नहीं कर सकते जब तक कि आपकी holistic understanding of the passage solid ना हो. So you need to understand what the passage is trying to convey. You need to understand the essence of discussion. आपको ये समझ में आना चाहिए कि author ने passage क्या बात करने के लिए लिखा है और क्यों बात करने के लिए लिखा है, राइट? आप इसको ऐसा समझिए कि जब हम रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन की बात करते हैं तो ऑथर ने एक पर्सपेक्टिव बिल्ड कर दिया, एक आर्ग्यूमेंट क्रिएट कर दी. सो व्हाट डू वी मीन बाय एन आर्ग्यूमेंट? ऑथर इज ट्राइंग टू रीच टू अ क्लेम और अ कंक्लूजन, राइट? सो व्हाट इज द इंटेंट ऑफ द ऑथर? To reach to a claim or a conclusion, and in order to validate that claim or conclusion, author is going to provide some evidence or premise to justify the argument, right? तो ये तो इन टोटलिटी एक आर्ग्यूमेंट बिल्ड कर देता है. तो पैसेज इज नथिंग बट एन आर्ग्यूमेंट, राइट? तो आपकी अगर आर्ग्यूमेंट की अंडरस्टैंडिंग सॉलिड होगी तो आप ये देखोगे कि आपको पूरा का पूरा पैसेज अगर अच्छे से समझ में आ गया तो प्राइमरी पर्पस और मेन आइडिया क्वेश्चंस आर एक्चुअली केक वॉक क्वेश्चंस, राइट? तो जब हम किसी क्वेश्चन की बात करते हैं, से द क्वेश्चन प्रोवाइडेड टू यू लुक्स लाइक दिस. द प्राइमरी पर्पस of the passage is, right? तो इस क्वेश्चन में बेसिकली आपको, इफ यू कैन रीड दिस क्वेश्चन, द प्राइमरी पर्पस ऑफ द पैसेजेस. तो जब हम इस तरह के क्वेश्चन स्टेम की बात कर रहे हैं तो कोई भी क्वेश्चन स्टेम को बनाने के लिए हमें तीन इंपॉर्टेंट असेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन की जरूरत है, या ये स्टेटमेंट हमें तीन इंफॉर्मेशन कन्वे करता है. क्या? पहला तो आइडेंटिफाई करो कि टास्क वर्ड क्या है, यानी कि कौन से वर्ड से आपको पता चला कि क्वेश्चन में आपको करना क्या है. देन देयर इज सब्जेक्ट ऑफ डिस्कशन, राइट? कौन से टॉपिक पे क्वेश्चन क्रिएटेड है. एंड थर्ड इज ऑफ कोर्स द टाइप और कैटेगरी ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. सो व्हेन आई से द प्राइमरी पर्पस ऑफ द पैसेजेस, so the topic on which the question is created, if you could just pay attention to, that's the entire passage, so that becomes the subject of discussion. यानी कि जो क्वेश्चन बेस्ड है उसमें टॉपिक क्या है, सब्जेक्ट क्या है, दैट्स द एंटायर पैसेज. और तुमको कैसे पता चला कि प्राइमरी पर्पस आइडेंटिफाई करना है? इनको देखकर, राइट? सो दीज आर द टास्क वर्ड्स दैट यू कैन से अच्छा ये मेरे टास्क वर्ड्स हैं, एक्शन वर्ड्स हैं, और क्वेश्चन का फ्लेवर क्या है, प्राइमरी पर्पस का। तो जो भी जनरल क्वेश्चंस होंगे उसमें जो सब्जेक्ट होगा वो पूरा का पूरा पैसेज होगा, राइट। तो जनरल क्वेश्चंस में अगर क्वेश्चन का सब्जेक्ट पूरा का पूरा पैसेज है, तो अगर आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग वीक रह गई पैसेजेस की, तो आप इस तरह के क्वेश्चन सॉल्व नहीं कर सकते। एंड ऑलमोस्ट एवरी, सो देयर इज एक्सपेक्टेड कि आपसे 4 रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन के पैसेजेस पूछे जाएंगे, तो आप बहुत आसानी से समझ लो कि आपको कम से कम 3 जनरल क्वेश्चंस तो मिलेंगे ही बेस्ड ऑन प्राइमरी पर्पस और मेन आइडिया, राइट। वो तो जीमैट इज वेरी सर्टन, वेरी श्योर कि कोई भी अगर आप एक पैसेज क्रिएट कर रहे हो तो एक जनरल इन्फ्रेंस का, स्टाइल एंड टोन का या प्राइमरी पर्पस का सवाल दे ही दे, राइट। तो आप बच नहीं सकते विद दिस आइडिया ऑफ यू कांट टेक दैट रिस्क दैट यू आर नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग द पैसेज नाइसली or rightly. So that's what I'm trying to say, that you have to identify that what is the complete story and what is that unified purpose, that is that what's the common thread that is running around the entire discussion, right. Then you have to identify what is the central theme. अगर आपको कहीं भी कोई inference निकालने को कहा जाता है, inference is a logical conclusion that you can draw on the basis of the information provided. तो inference अगर तो पूरे passage के basis पे, तो inference में क्या है, of course we'll discuss it in detail within the next few minutes. पर अगर आपको एक conclusion draw करना है on the basis of the given information, or if you have to draw a conclusion based on the entire passage, so boss, you can't take the risk of having a very very inappropriate or poor understanding of the comprehension, right. So almost like I said, every passage would contain a main idea, primary purpose, question type, और जब तक आपको पूरी understanding नहीं हो जाती holistically what the passage is trying to convey, you can't crack it. So main idea is what is the author talking about, primary purpose is why is he talking about, what is the objective. So purpose of writing में there can be various objectives. There can be an objective where the author is trying to persuade, there can be an objective where the author is trying to evaluate, there can be an objective where the author is just neutral, trying to explain, right. So you need to decide that what is the objective of writing the entire passage. Okay, so let's come to style and tone questions. So style and tone is basically what is the author's attitude towards the topic. So जहाँ पे आपसे पूछ लें कि author का opinion क्या है, tone of discussion क्या है, और what is author's attitude. So ultimately the question is testing you on how, right. So you must have read a lot of authors. अगर आपने नहीं पढ़ा और सुना भी है, जैसे अगर आपने शशि थरूर के बारे में सुना है, या बच्ची काकरिया के बारे में सुना है, ट्विंकल खन्ना के बारे में सुना है, सुधा मूर्ति को देखा है, कुछ पढ़ा है उनके बारे में, तो ये सारे जो रस्किन बॉन्ड है, इनके सब ऑथर्स की पिक्यूलियर स्टाइल ऑफ राइटिंग है, right. Some have got a very formal style of writing, some have a casual style of writing, and some in the so called terminology Gen Z को hit कर रहे हैं, right. So every it is for everybody. Even if you see some podcast, तो जो interviewers होते हैं या जो guest आते हैं, सबका एक पर्टिकुलर स्टाइल है. तो आपको ये डिकोड करना है कि जो आपको पैसेज मिला है उसमें ऑथर का स्टाइल क्या था, हाउ हैज ही रिटन द एंटायर पैसेज, एंड इन व्हाट टोन, how was the emotional state, was he agitated, was the tone critical, or was it authoritative, or was it negative, or was it neutral. Author was just explaining some scientific phenomena without putting his or her opinion into it, right. तो जब भी आप स्टाइल और टोन के क्वेश्चंस एनकाउंटर करो, माय सजेशन वुड बी कि आप देखो, यूजुअली कॉमन कंप्लेंट आती है कि मैम स्टाइल और टोन के क्वेश्चंस आर डिफिकल्ट टू क्रैक, स्पेशली टोन के, हम कैसे करें. तो आपको देखना डिफिकल्टी दो एस्पेक्ट्स पे हो सकती है. वन, ऑफ कोर्स दैट आप टोन ही नहीं डिसाइड कर पाए, और दूसरा दैट यू डिड नॉट नो द मीनिंग ऑफ द ऑप्शंस दैट वर प्रोवाइडेड टू यू. तो हमें लगता है हमें टोन नहीं समझ में आई, बट प्रॉब्लम इज एक्चुअली अ वोकैबुलरी, isn't it? इस पे पॉन्डर करना. तो जब भी आप पैसेज को पढ़ रहे हो, आप ये देख लो कि इज द टोन पॉजिटिव, इज इट नेगेटिव और न्यूट्रल, और इतना डिस्क्रिशन तो इज समथिंग विच इज वेरी इजी टू डू, राइट. तो अगर आप ये देख लेंगे कि पैसेज का जो ओवरऑल टोन है या पैसेज में ऑथर का जो एटीट्यूड था वो पॉजिटिव था, तो आप जो भी पॉजिटिव टर्म है उसको रख लीजिए ऑप्शंस में, और जो नेगेटिव या न्यूट्रल है उनको एलिमिनेट कर दीजिए. देन इट बिकम्स द गेम ऑफ eliminating the incorrect answer choices, right? So that's what I usually suggest the students कि आप पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव न्यूट्रल की इनिशियल फेजेस में अंडरस्टैंडिंग बिल्ड करिए. इतने से भी बहुत इजीली आप जीमैट में आंसर चॉइसेस को एलिमिनेट करके करेक्ट आंसर तक पहुंच जाएंगे, राइट? So of course, like I said, these are very implicit and फॉर सच क्वेश्चंस आप पैसेज को मल्टीपल टाइम्स नहीं पढ़ सकते. तो आपने अगर एक बार से ज्यादा पूरा का पूरा पैसेज पढ़ लिया, सो दैट्स अ क्राइम दैट यू हैव कमिटेड, राइट? सो प्लीज बी वेरी वेरी केयरफुल दैट यू डू नॉट गेट इनटू रीडिंग द सेम पैसेज ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन, बिकॉज दैट विल डेफिनेटली स्पॉइल ऑफ चांसेस ऑफ गेटिंग अ वेरी गुड स्कोर, क्योंकि उतना आप पे प्रेशर बिल्ड होता है और कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट होता है, राइट? आपने एक पैसेज में बहुत परफॉर्मेंस खराब कर ली तो ऑफ कोर्स, क्योंकि एक तो अडेप्टिव टेस्ट है ही, और एक आप स्कोर भी छोड़िए, मार्क्स भी छोड़िए, एक आप मेंटली भी यू आर सो ड्रेन्ड आउट दैट अच्छा नॉट अ राइट थिंग. तो एक बार पैसेज पढ़िए, अंडरस्टैंड करिए द व्हाट द पैसेज इज ट्राइंग टू कन्वे, एंड देन मूव टुवर्ड्स द क्वेश्चन. सो सच क्वेश्चंस वुड बी इजी टू सॉल्व. तो जैसे अगर हम देखें कि यहाँ पर आपकी स्किल सेट क्या टेस्ट होती है व्हेन यू आर प्रोवाइडेड विद स्टाइल एंड टोन क्वेश्चंस, दैट आर यू एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कॉम्प्लेक्स सोफिस्टिकेटेड नॉन टेक्निकल राइटिंग, right? And you have to understand the passage. That's the only way to identify the right tone. Now let's come to the inference questions. So inference questions can be of two types. Either the author can ask you कि भाई inference बताओ of the entire passage. So that is the reason I put this in general questions. जब हम specific type के questions करेंगे तब भी inference का एक बार discussion कर लेंगे, क्योंकि कई बार inference सिर्फ ये कह सकता है कि second paragraph से author क्या inference निकाल सकते हो या आप क्या निकाल सकते हो, right? So there can be a general question which is based on the overall understanding of the text. आपको ध्यान रखना है कि जो inference का correct answer होगा वो पैसेज से वेरीफाई होगा. इट शुड बी, मस्ट बी, डेफिनेटली वैलिडेटेड फ्रॉम द इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडेड इन द टेक्स्ट. सो यू माइट नॉट सी द एक्चुअल लाइन्स कमिंग फ्रॉम द पैसेज, बिकॉज इन दैट केस दैट्स नॉट एन इन्फ्रेंस. इन्फ्रेंस इज अ कंक्लूजन दैट यू आर ड्रॉइंग ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द इंफॉर्मेशन प्रोवाइडेड, राइट? मतलब आप इसको, मैं सिंपल सा एग्जाम्पल, आई एम श्योर पहले भी कहीं मैंने प्लेस किया होगा कि ए इज ग्रेटर देन बी, बी इज ग्रेटर देन सी. तो ये वाली इंफॉर्मेशन आपके पास नहीं है, ये है आपके पास. so this is the information the passage is offering, and you might be given a choice which says A is greater than C, and that's the conclusion that you have taken from the information that is provided to you, right? So those are inference questions. So ऑफिशियल गाइड कहता है कि जो इन्फ्रेंस क्वेश्चंस है वो टेस्ट करते हैं कि आपको ऑथर का इंटेंटेड मीनिंग समझ में आ गया, राइट? कुड यू गैदर व्हाट वाज द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ राइटिंग और गिविंग द एग्जांपल, राइट? सो नाउ लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट वन रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन पैसेज एंड एक्सप्लोर सम क्वेश्चंस. सो इट्स गोइंग टू बी एन एक्साइटिंग पार्ट. सो स्टार्ट रीडिंग. आई विल जस्ट स्टेप असाइड so that you can read this nicely. चलिए, we'll start reading this. So, most pre-1990 literature. So, in which scenario are we taking this discussion? The situation before 1990, right? So, that's important. Pre-1990, we will do mapping. Literature on business use of information technology, defined as any form of computer-based information system. So, the definition is provided. This focused on spectacular. Spectacular means outstanding. So, what is spectacular? Outstanding IT successes, and reflected a general optimism concerning IT's potential as a resource for creating competitive advantage. So now this is talking about a situation which is pre-1990, and whatever literature you have on how businesses were using information technology. And what is IT? IT has been defined as any form of computer-based information system. There's focus that there were great successes and there was a general optimism. So you can see the use of IT and in businesses, and the overall idea that's flowing in till here is positive, right? बट do not pay attention to transitions. मैंने आपको पहले भी कई बार बताया कि transitions important है, इससे आपको flow of ideas पता चलता है. तो यहाँ पे negligent मत रहिए, read this nicely. But towards the end of 1980s, some economists spoke of a प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स. तो अब उसने कहा कि पहले तो ये सब टॉकिंग अबाउट कि देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ ऑप्टिमिज्म, देन दे आर इंट्रोड्यूसिंग दिस टर्म प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स, राइट? So despite huge IT investments, most notably in the service sectors, productivity stagnated. Stagnated matlab there was no growth happening. So they are talking about, when, what do we mean by paradox? Paradox is there are two statements that both are in agreement, but both are true, but they both are in disagreement. So there are two contrasting ideas running in opposite direction. So that's what we means by paradox, right? चलिए तो देखते हैं इन द रिटेल इंडस्ट्री. अब यहाँ पे ऑथर ने एक एग्जाम्पल देके प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स को समझाया है, और कौन सा एग्जाम्पल दिया? रिटेल इंडस्ट्री का. तो एक बार एग्जाम्पल पढ़ के देखते हैं. For example, in which IT had been widely adopted during the 1980s, productivity rose at an average annual rate of 1.1% between 1973 and 1989, compared with 2.4% in the preceding. So then they are giving you the facts that how things worked, right? So you could see this is a plain information that is provided to you. So you can read this further. So we can read this. 25-year period, proponents of IT. So though basically it's a productivity paradox that has been explained with the help of facts. तो यहाँ पर बोल रहे हैं कि proponents of IT argued that it takes, तो जो IT को प्रमोट कर रहे थे वो कह रहे थे कि भाई it would take time and critical mass of investment for IT to yield benefits, and some suggested that the growth figures for 1990s proved these benefits were finally being realized. So there were certain, supporters who were propagating the idea of IT use, right? So the IT का propagation या IT के proponents का क्या perspective था, that has been discussed here. Let's read further. They also argued, so again pay attention, that what were the arguments they provided, right? So you could see what are the arguments they have provided in order to support the usage of IT. They also argued that measures of productivity ignore what would have happened without investments in IT. Productivity gains might have been even lower. There were even claims that IT had improved the performance of service sector significantly, although macroeconomic measures of productivity did not reflect the improvement, right? So what happened was that actually अगर आप macroeconomic productivity में देखें तो उसमें improvement reflect नहीं हुआ. So macroeconomic measures of productivity, जो पैरामीटर्स थे, उन्होंने क्या किया? उन्होंने इंप्रूवमेंट को रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं किया. सो दैट्स बेसिकली द पैराडॉक्स, राइट? So more or less the author is trying to explain that though it looked promising, but then the sort of productivity that was expected, that was not reflected. But some observers question why, if IT had conferred economic value, it did not produce direct competitive advantages for individual firms. Ki bhai, when there was so much of discussion happening that it's going to give an edge, why it did not happen? So resource-based theory offers an answer. So now they have introduced this name, resource-based theory. नाम लिया है एक theory का. Let's see what is the next information that we have. So what is resource based theory suggesting? यहाँ से अगर आप continuity लें, resource based theory offers an answer. So क्या एक possible explanation theory offer करिए? Let's see that in general firms gain competitive advantages by accumulating resources that are economically valuable, relatively scarce and not easily replicated. तो firms को competitive advantage resource based theory से कब मिलता है? जब वो resources को वो gather कर लेती हैं जिसकी economically value strong होती है और relatively scarce है, मतलब it's not easily available to everybody, and then which cannot be easily replicated, right? Makes sense, fair. According to a recent study of retail firms, so what was this happening in the study of retail firms? Let's see here. Which confirmed that IT has become pervasive matlab being prevalent at almost every place and relatively easy to acquire. IT by itself appeared to have conferred little advantage. In fact, though little evidence of any direct effect was found, the frequent negative correlation between IT and performance suggested. So there has been a negative correlation between, this is again, please don't compare it to the present times, go back. The discussion is pre 1990, right? So there is a negative correlation between IT usage and performance, and as per the passage that IT had probably weakened some first competitive positions. Again, pay attention to transition. However, firms' human resources in and of themselves did explain improved performance, and some firms gained IT related advantages. So, how did they get some advantages? So, what was their possible solution? By merging IT with complementary resources, particularly human resources. So now बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग एक पॉइंट आया कि बट अब तुम बात कर रहे हो IT शुड ऑफर वैल्यू, बट एक रिसोर्स बेस्ड थ्योरी की बात हुई, स्टडीज की बात हुई, उसके बाद ऑथर ने कहा कि भाई ऐसा नहीं है कि एडवांटेज नहीं मिला। एडवांटेज कब मिला? जब उन्होंने IT रिलेटेड एडवांटेजेस को मर्ज किया विद कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री रिसोर्सेज, और वहां पे पर्टिकुलरली ऑथर ने बोल दिया ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज के साथ मर्ज किया तो बेनिफिट्स नजर में आए, right? So, a possible explanation ki how IT can function better, right? Support the notion founded in resource-based theory that competitive advantages do not arise from early replicated resources, no matter how impressive or economically valuable they may be, but from. So ultimately, what the author is trying to say that intangible resource, तो human resource intangible resource हो गया ना, कि IT अकेला काम नहीं कर रहा, तो तुमने उसको क्या किया? काम करने के लिए you have, amalgamated it with human resources. That's what the text is suggesting, and then you can receive some benefits, or you could see the productivity happening, right? Chaliye. So now let's come to the first question. So this is basically a general question. Like I told you that there's a high possibility, or almost it's going to happen, that you'll get a primary purpose or main idea question with almost every passage. So if you take a look at this, primarily concerned with these are the task words. इससे आपको पता चल रहा है कि the question is of primary purpose, right? It's a primary purpose question, again a general question. और उसके बाद अगर आप देखोगे, so again the topic or the subject of the question is the entire passage. तो जो भी क्वेश्चन एंटायरली ऑन द पैसेज ड्रिवन है, यूजुअली आपको सलाह ये है कि उसके लिए रिविजिट आप नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि आपको पूरा पैसेज वापस पढ़ना और इतना टाइम आपके पास होगा नहीं. सो आई जस्ट स्टेप असाइड, एक बार प्लीज एक्सप्लोर ऑल द आंसर चॉइसेस एंड देन वील गेट इनटू द डिस्कशन. So describe a resource and indicating various methods. So there was no various methods. We are talking about IT, but no various methods have been used to study it, right? So that's not the objective of writing. Goes out. Presenting a theory, उन्होंने एक relative based theory की बात करी, पर वो पूरा intent था of writing we can't say, right? Providing an explanation for an unexpected finding, that ultimately you're wanting the things to work, you have to integrate it with human resource, right? So possibly this provides value, we can keep this. Demonstrating why a particular theory is unfounded. No, there is no attempt to refute or acknowledge a theory. So this also goes out. Resolving a disagreement regarding the uses of technology. So there is no disagreement. It's just that we are trying to find out that how IT can actually benefit, and what was expected if there is a negative correlation, how it can be improved and how things can get better. So uska ek possible explanation tha, overall intent. So even E goes out. So what's the best possible answer that you have for this question? That would be choice C. Now we are doing, though we have discussed general questions, but then once we are picking up a passage, and that too from official guide, let's do all the possible questions associated with this passage. So the author of the passage discusses productivity in the retail industry in the first paragraph, primarily in order to. So when we talk about productivity in the retail industry, it's you can see there was an example provided, revisit, जहाँ पे आपको लगता है कि मुझे जरूरत है, specific question है, right? It's better to go to the first paragraph, get the understanding why retail industry का example was given basically. So अगर आप revisit करोगे, है ना, and you will check this. So retail industry, we've already mentioned in our mapping that towards the end of 1980s, some economists spoke of productivity paradox despite huge IT investments. Most notable in the service sector, productivity stagnated. So there was no growth happening. In the retail industry, for example, तो productivity paradox को समझाने के लिए example provide किया. So that's why retail industry has been talked about, and you could read this further in case you feel the need. और अगर आपका एक answer मिल गया है, so you could explore the answer choices. Suggest a way in which IT can be used to create a competitive advantage. नहीं, अब आपने पढ़ लिया ना कि productive paradox है, तो जो मेरा basic approach रहता है question solving का, you read the passage nicely, right? Follow these steps. The second would be that understand the question stem, understand the question task, right? This is very important. अगर आपका question task clear नहीं है, तो then you will be in deep trouble, right? And third would be that you reread or revisit if needed, especially for general questions. अब आपने revisit करा, now you explore the answer choices and do process of elimination, and if possible वंस यू हैव रिविजिटेड यू कुड प्रिडिक्ट द आंसर। तो उससे क्या होता है, अगर आपके दिमाग में एक आंसर है, जैसे आपने कहा कि प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स हो रहा था और फिर ऑथर ने फॉर एग्जांपल लेके रिटेल इंडस्ट्री की बात कर दी, तो ऑथर प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स को एक्सप्लेन करना चाह रहे हैं कि रिटेल इंडस्ट्री में हुआ है, राइट। तो आपने रेलेवेंस देख लिया, आपके दिमाग में आंसर है, अब आप कोई आंसर चॉइस एक्सप्लोर कर लो। आप सजेस्ट अ व्हिच आईटी कैन बी यूज्ड टू क्रिएट अ कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेज, नो, वो तो प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स को एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है, तो आपको कोई आंसर चॉइस ट्रैप नहीं करेगी, राइट। प्रोवाइड एन इलस्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स, एग्जैक्टली इलस्ट्रेशन एग्जांपल पैराडॉक्स की बात करके रिटेल इंडस्ट्री की बात करिए, वी कैन कीप दिस। Emphasize the practical value of introduction of IT. No, we are not talking about the practicality. So this also goes out. Cite an industry in which productivity did not stagnate. So the text is already saying that is a good example of productivity paradox. Goes out. Counter the argument that IT could potentially create competitive advantage. Again, this does not make sense. तो आपको क्लियरली ना जो इनकरेक्ट आंसर चॉइसेस होंगी ना, उसको आपको एलिमिनेट करने में सेकंड्स भी नहीं लगेंगे। तो राइट अप्रोच इज गो इफ नीडेड, वेरीफाई, चेक, क्योंकि अब आपके पास पूरा पैसेज को समझने का प्रेशर नहीं है, राइट। पैसेज तो आपको समझ में आ गया, हाँ आईटी का इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ था, बहुत ऑप्टिमिज्म था उसके साथ, पर इतना इन्वेस्टमेंट के बाद भी प्रोडक्टिविटी नहीं आई, फिर अल्टीमेटली कहा कि भाई प्रोडक्टिविटी तब आएगी जब तुम किसी और ह्यूमन स्किल या कोई और रिसोर्स के साथ उसको अमेलगमेट करोगे, समथिंग ऑफ दिस सॉर्ट, राइट। तो अगर अब आपके पास पूरा प्रेशर नहीं है पैसेज को पूरा पकड़ने का, एंड यू कैन गो स्पेसिफिकली, of course you will have better mental state and clarity to deal with the questions, right? Let's take a look at the next question. Please read the question nicely. I would want you to attempt this before I start explaining. So if you take a look at the question is saying the passage suggests that proponents of resource based theory, जरूरत पड़े तो resource based theory को आप revisit कर सकते हो, would be likely to explain IT's inability to product direct competitive advantage for individual firms by pointing out that, so basically argument ने clearly बोला कि एक जगह तो उन्होंने बोला कि आप जब रिसोर्स बेस्ड थ्योरी की बात कर रहे हैं कि आप एक ऐसी टेक्नोलॉजी लेकर आओ, मतलब जब हम रिसोर्स बेस्ड थ्योरी की बात कर रहे हैं विच इज नॉट इजीली अवेलेबल और आपने पहले ऑब्टेन कर ली है, राइट। और उसके बाद यहाँ पे रिसोर्स बेस्ड थ्योरी आ गया ना। सी रिसोर्स बेस्ड थ्योरी ऑफर्स एन आंसर asserting that in general firms gain competitive advantage by accumulating resources that are uh, you know economically valuable, relatively scarce and not easily replicated, right? But then at one point of time it is saying that it is pervasive matlab it is prevalent everywhere, right? So you could just see कि एक pervasive term उसने use करी, that now it is not that you're not getting technology, it is probably evident everywhere. So that means when we go to the answer choices, let me just tell you where this word pervasive was there, prevalent everywhere. So there was this information provided that see IT is pervasive now. Yeah, so see this. According to a recent study of retail firms which confirmed that IT has become pervasive and relatively easy to acquire. So IT itself appeared to have conferred little advantage. So यहीं से आपका आंसर वेरीफाई हो जाएगा, right? IT is not a resource that's difficult to obtain, right? So it's become pervasive. We can keep this. Economically valuable resource, we can't say. Complex, intangible, नहीं. Economic projects has resulted from IT only. Extreme answer हो गया. Changes brought about by IT cannot be detected by microeconomic measures. So again, this is not relevant. So what is the correct answer that you have? That will be choice A. Let's come to the next question. Let's see this. So let's take a look at this question. The question says, which of the following best describes the content of the first paragraph? Right. So we have already read the first paragraph, and if you would want, you could revisit also. Right. So पहला पैराग्राफ क्या बात कर रहा है? It is talking about summarizing what IT is, and it talks about productivity paradox. Then what are the benefits businesses have received by adopting IT? Then it talks about pre-1990s findings, which were contrary to some experts' expectations. ठीक है, तो ऐसा था कि जिन्होंने आईटी को अडॉप्ट किया तो बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं आया, राइट। सो देयर इज बेसिकली द आइडिया वाज कि जो प्रोपोनेंट्स ऑफ आईटी थे, दे वर एक्सपेक्टिंग दैट देयर विल बी अ मैसिव रिफॉर्म कमिंग, बट नथिंग कुड बी रिफ्लेक्टेड मच इन द परफॉर्मेंस, राइट। तभी तो उन्होंने प्रोडक्टिविटी पैराडॉक्स की बात करी थी, राइट। रिटेल इंडस्ट्री का एग्जाम्पल दिया था। तो इट प्रेजेंट्स टू एक्सप्लेनेशंस फॉर द सक्सेस ऑफ आईटी। तो यही तो क्वेश्चन कर रहे हैं कि डिजायर्ड सक्सेस नहीं मिली। It provides evidence that decrease in productivity will continue. Again, it says extreme. It presents reasons for a decline in productivity. No, so you have to amalgamate the usage of IT, right? As expected, did not come, right? It demonstrates the effect IT has had on productivity. So there was not much of the impact on productivity. Bacha kya E? It contrasts views concerning the degree of IT's success. So exactly that's what the choice is doing. So the passage is talking about that it was expected that once IT comes, there were major claims that it would help in improvement, and the productivity would increase, but that did not happen, right? So that's the contrasting views. It could not be reflected. Let's come to the next question. Please try this. तो अगर आप ये देखो कि passage suggests that a recent study of retail firms discussed in second paragraph सपोर्ट विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंक्लूजन। उन्होंने बेसिकली कहा कि भाई जहाँ पे आईटी अकेला नहीं, तुम किसी और रिसोर्स के साथ उसको अमेलगमेट करोगे तो प्रोबेबली जो प्रोडक्टिविटी और आउटपुट है वो इम्पैक्ट क्रिएटिंग होगा, राइट? सो लेट्स टेक अ लुक एट द आंसर चॉइसेस। ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेज अलोन आर मोर लाइकली टू कंट्रीब्यूट टू कॉम्पिटिटिव एडवांटेजेस देन इज आईटी अलोन। यस, इट डज मेक सेंस। Human resource combined with IT are more likely than human resources alone to have a negative impact. No, no. Once you are including the human impact, then of course it will be more productive. Human resources combined with IT often have a negative impact. No, it contributes better. Again, this is opposite of what the text is suggesting. IT by itself is much more likely to have a positive effect than a negative effect on competitive advantage. So IT के साथ human resources को amalgamate करना है. Positive effect of IT on competitive advantage increases with time when you are including human resource as well. So the correct answer will be A. चलिए, now let's take a look at this. तो अब इसमें जब बात कर रहे हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू द पैसेज प्री 1990 लिटरेचर ऑन बिजनेस यूज ऑफ आईटी इंक्लूडेड विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग। तो उनको ये था कि भाई जो आईटी टेक्नोलॉजी कंपनीज आईटी को यूज करेंगे उनकी इंप्रूवमेंट आएगा प्रोडक्टिविटी में, प्रोडक्टिविटी बूस्ट होगी, राइट? इफ यू फील द नीड यू कुड रिविजिट द पैराग्राफ। recommendations regarding effective ways to use IT. No, there are no effective ways to use IT to gain competitive advantage. Explanation of advantages and disadvantages. No, that was not the information. Information about ways in which IT combined with human resources. That's not in the given place where we are discussing this. A warning regarding. No, there was no warning issued. A belief in the likelihood of increased competitive advantage for firms using IT. That's the point where the discussion began. So E is a promising choice. Now let's come to the next question. So the author of the passage implies that towards the end of 1980s, some economists describe which of the following as a productivity paradox. So you could go to line 8, you could talk about productivity paradox in case again if you feel the need, or line mentioned here, तो अगर आप utilize करोगे तो in any ways it is benefiting. But towards the end of 1980s, some economists spoke of productivity paradox. Despite huge IT investments, most notably in the service sectors, productivity stagnated. So that means the growth was not happening despite investments as expected, right? It just did not increase, it just got stagnated, right? So let's take a look at the options that are there. Investments in IT would not result in increase in productivity in 1990s. So no time frame is there. So this goes out. Investment in IT did not lead to expected gains in productivity. Okay, the productivity was almost stagnant. We can keep this. So productivity in the retail industry rose less rapidly than productivity in other industries. I'm not talking about other industries. The gain in productivity due to introduction of IT were not reflected in microeconomic measures. So here they are talking about the specific line. Line 8 does not validate this. Most gains in productivity occurred in the service sector and were therefore particularly difficult to measure. So gain तो हो ही नहीं रहा, वो तो कह रहे productivity stagnant हो गई. So what is the best choice that you have? B, right? So there is one more question that I would recommend you to take as your homework to try this question, and I'm sure you will be able to do this. Take regular analysis, do regular analysis of what you are doing, right? And ensure that you pay attention to the holistic understanding of the text. Specifics ke liye you can always revisit. That's a wise idea. And when you revisit, keep an answer in your mind before you take a look at the answer choices, and be aggressive on process of elimination. I'm sure you're going to be benefited. Keep working hard, stay consistent. All the best.